Hello guys and welcome back. So now in this video we will add our first mission. So as you can see right here we will be adding our character. So open up the Ken Rosberg character, okay, and I have explained how you can download all of the characters and the animations for them. I will also provided all of the characters as well, but if you want to use different characters and different animations, I have told you how you can do that, okay. So now in this animations, okay, if you notice we have this root, okay, in this one as well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag and drop this root right here, and when you drag and drop that, then go inside the source, and as you can see we have this can material right here, so I'm gonna drag and drop it on the can. So now as you can see there is our character. Okay, we can't use this one because on this one the animation doesn't work because this one doesn't have any rig. Okay, and this root one has the rig and also the animations as well. Okay, so just add this one. Okay, if you want you can add this root as well, so in which position you want the character to be seen you can add that. Okay, but I'm gonna add the first one, then select the character. We need to rotate it to this side, so let's make this 180. Okay, move it right here, and then a little bit on this side like this. Okay, so this will be our first character. Let me click on prefab, then unpack completely. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an empty parent for this and name this as missions. Then in this root, which is this character root, let me name this as Ken. Okay, and also select this Ken. Okay, and create an empty parent game object for it again and name this as mission 1. Okay, then in the mission 1 create an empty game object, name this as enter, move it up, and let's move this enter right here. Then on this enter add a box collider, let's move it up right here. And when you add a box collider, make this as is triggered, because when we triggered with this then we will start the first mission cutscene. Okay, so we need a light for this. In the shop system, when we double click on the shop enter, as you can see right here we have this light. So I'm gonna copy this whole component of the light, then click on enter, which is in the mission 1. Okay, double click on it and it will move the view right here. Okay, then click on paste component as new, and here is the light. Okay, so when we touch this light we will enter the cutscene. Okay, let me move the player in here so that I can check the can height according to our own player character. Okay, so if I move the player in there, then cut in here and select the player, move the player upward like this. Okay, move it now closer to Ken. So as you can see, Ken character is really small. What I'm gonna do with it is select the Ken character and make the Ken character big. Okay, we can actually make it 1.2. Okay, then let's move the player back right there. Okay, and that is the player camera. Now, before creating the script, let's click on Ken and drag and drop this animator, and in the animator all of the animations are already set up. Okay, And also make sure that you add the capsule collider on can character. So make the y1 and the radius will be 0.3, the height will be 2, and that's it. Okay, so if we play the game, okay, there is the can character as you can see, and we can collide with it as well. Alright, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a script now, and in the script we will say that when we collide with this light, we're gonna set this start talking to true so that the can character start talking and play the animations, and also we will show the subtitles so that we understand what Ken is talking about. And also when the Ken is done talking, we're gonna end the scene, and after that we will set the mission 1 to true because mission 1 is then completed. Okay, so for the missions on the game manager script, let's open this up, scroll down, and at the bottom make a header by the name of missions, then create a public bool by the name of mission 1 and create a reference to a game object, name this as mission 1 area. Okay, then we will scroll down in the update method. Let's do it at the bottom. Okay, right here add a comment by the name of missions. Okay, and we're gonna say if the mission 1 is true. Okay, and also make another bool by the name of mission 2, and then scroll down right here, we're gonna say or if mission 2 is true, then what we're gonna do, we're gonna set the mission 1 area to false, because when we complete the first mission we don't want the can character and that mission 1 light to be true. Okay, we want that to be false, so that's why I'm gonna set it to false right here. That is all for the mission 1. Okay, we will be adding the same for the other missions, but since we are working on mission 1, so that's why we handle that first of all. Okay, so we added an if condition for that, and right here as you can see we have mission 1 bool and mission 2 bool and also mission 1 area. So in the mission 1 area, drag and drop this mission 1, okay, in which we have the character and this entrance. Okay, and also we'll be adding the camera. So now let's set up the whole mission 1. Okay, and then when we enter this and we talk to Ken, after that we're gonna set this mission 1 to true, and that is it, our mission will be then completed. Okay, so let's also add a camera in here. Okay, and when you add a camera, let's move this camera right here, then rotate it to this side like this. As you can see in here the camera view, so rotate it like this, then let's move it up, move it back. Alright, so you can set up this camera like this because our character will stand in this pink light. Okay, so we're gonna set it right here like this. Okay, now for now disable the mission 1 camera, then click on scripts, and in the scripts folder we're gonna now create another folder by the name of missions, and in this missions folder create a new script by the name of mission 1. Click on mission 1, enter. Okay, this enter, and drag and drop this script right there. Then let's open this up. All right, now when you open the script, let's close the camera manager script. Okay, I've closed that already, and I will leave these three scripts open for now. Then on the mission 1 script at the top, we need a reference to the game manager script. So I'm going to type game manager, name this as game manager. Then we need a reference to the can character animator. Okay, so for that I'm going to type public animator, name this as character animator. Okay, then we're going to create a reference to our player character. Then we also want to show the subtitle for the mission. Okay, so we need to create a UI for our subtitles. So if we go inside the player UI, okay, in the player UI, what we can do, we can click on 2D, then double click on player UI. Okay, let's zoom in here, and in here create a UI legacy text, name this as cutscene subtitles. Okay, what we're gonna do then is I'm gonna turn on the gizmos first of all and move this to the middle bottom, and then we can change its width to, for example, right here, like this. Okay, in here let's type mission 1 text. Let's copy and paste it again and again. And when you do that, let's click on font size, make it 45, and select the font. Also change the text color to white. Okay, move it up like that. Then if we click on game view, change to simulator, and as you can see on simulator it looks really bad. Let me move it to the center and show the text in center. Then click on scene view, here it is. Okay, let's click on simulator again. Let's decrease the size, okay, to this, for example. Now decrease the font size to 25. Okay, and 25 is a good value for this. Okay, that is it. This will be our subtitle text. Okay, so right here for now type just text. That's it. Okay, now let's change back to game view and disable the cutscene subtitle and open up the mission 1 script again, and right after the player character, now let's make a reference to our subtitle text. So I'm gonna name this as UI text for now, and make sure that at the top you add using Unity engine.ui. Okay, after this let's create a string array, name this as text array, then create a private float by the name of timer. This will be equals to 0f. Then create another private float, okay, by the name of current index. Then create a bool by the name of is collided, set it to false. Then create a game object by the name of main camera, then another game object by the name of mission camera. Then after this, we will also be creating a reference to the mission light. Okay, and as you know, the mission light is on the enter game object. So we're gonna add that in the mission light. Then create another game object which will be, actually for now let's leave this. Okay, now in the start method, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our games manager script reference. So game manager equals to find object of type game manager. Then after this, we're gonna say if the text array a dot length is greater than 0, then in this case UI text dot text will be equals to text array. So what this is going to do, this will initialize the UI text, this if condition. Then after this, let's add the update method, and also let's add a on trigger enter method. So right here, if we type on trigger enter, okay, it will create this method. In here, we're gonna check if the player collided with the enter game object. Okay, and as you know, in the enter game object we have added the box collider, which is set to is triggered. Okay, so if it's triggered the player, as you can see, the player is on the player tag. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna set the mission light to false, and then we're gonna set the is collided to true. Okay, and when we set the mission light dot set active to false, it will make the enter whole game object false. Okay, this enter whole game object. Okay, we just want this light to be set to false then, but we can't do that like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is double click on enter. Okay, and in the enter, let's create an empty game object. Okay, name this as mission light, then click on enter, copy this light component, click on mission light and click on paste component as new, then click on enter and remove this light from there. Okay, so now when we make this light false, it will just remove the light, but the script and the box collider will be in its own place. Alright, now in the update method, first of all we're gonna check if the player is not collided. Okay, it means that if the player didn't touch the pink light, then the UI text, which is the subtitle text, so we want that subtitle text game object to be false. Okay, because we don't want to show these subtitles. And if the player touches with the pink light, then we want to show the subtitles, so we will say UI text dot game object dot set active true. And also after this we will be making our player stopped, okay, because when we touch the pink light we don't want the player to walk around, okay. So in order to stop the player from walking around, we're gonna say if the player is not if the player is collided, and we're gonna check if the player character is not null, then what we're gonna do, we're gonna get the player locomotion script, or you can say the player movement script. So we want to get this script, so right here we're gonna say player movement, name this as player movement. This will be equals to player character dot get component player movement script. And when we have the player movement script, then we're gonna check if the player movement script is not null. So if this is the case, then player movement dot walking speed will be equals to 0, and player movement dot running speed will be equals to 0 as well, and also player movement dot sprinting speed will be equals to 0 as well. Alright, after this we're gonna set the main camera of our player to false, and we're gonna set the mission camera true. Then after this we will set the can character is talking the talking start talking bool to true. So you'll say character animator dot set bool, its name is start talking, so set that to true. Okay, then timer plus equals to time dot delta time. Okay, we will start the timer, and then we will say if timer is greater than or equals to 10, then in this case what we're going to do, we will reset the timer, and the current index will be equals to current index plus 1. We're going to change the subtitle text, so right here we are doing that. So text array dot length, and then we will set the UI text dot text to the text array dot current index. Make sure these are square brackets. Okay, so right here we are just simply changing the subtitle text after every 10 seconds. Okay, then what we want to do now is we want to end the cutscene. Okay, so in order to end the cutscene, what we're gonna do, we will be needing a reference to our input manager script. So at the top, let's make a reference to the input manager script. Then in the start, type input manager equals to find object of type input manager. Okay, and as you know that on the input manager we have the interact input, okay, which is set to E by default. So when we press the E key, we want the cutscene to end. So for that we will type if input manager dot interact input is pressed, and also if the player is in the collision. Okay, if that is the case, then we will set the collider to false. Then the character animator dot play, and we want it to play the idle animation. Then we will set the UI text dot text to be equals to nothing. And let me show you what this character animator dot play idle means. It means that it will play this idle animation. Okay, and also we have the start talking right here, which we set to true when we enter in this. Okay, for now it shows this error, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that. Okay, so when we clear the subtitle text after this, we're gonna delete the characters. So we're gonna say destroy game object. First of all, we destroy the cutscene entrance, then the character. So we will say destroy the character animator dot game object. Okay, then we will check if the player character is not null. Okay, actually for this we can copy this whole if condition and paste it right here, because right now we are simply giving the player their walking, running and sprinting speed back again. So the walking speed of the player by default is 1.5, so you're gonna copy that, paste it in here. The running speed is 5 and sprinting is 7, so running is 5 and the sprinting is 7. Okay, then after giving the player its speed, then let's set the main camera of the player to true and set the mission camera to false. Also we're gonna say if game manager dot mission 1 is equals to false, and also if game manager dot mission 2 is equals to false. If this is the case, then we're gonna say game manager dot mission 1 equals to true. So this will pass the first mission. Okay, on the game manager right here, let's add the other mission bools as well for now. Okay, so mission 3, 4 and 5, and the reason I've added that because I will now put them right here as well. So if game manager dot mission 3 is also not passed, and also the other missions as well, let me copy this, paste it. So if mission 4 is also not passed, and if mission 5 is not passed as well, so if not a single mission is passed, then we will pass the first mission. Okay, and that will be it for our mission 1. Now let's save the script, get back right here. Okay, and it says that text does not contain a definition for game manager on line 40. Okay, so on line 40 right here. Okay, so UI text dot game object dot set active. Okay, make sure that you type that, and the first error will be fixed. Then mission 1 line 61. Okay, 61 line. So on line 61 right here. Okay, right here we need to type time, not timer, time dot delta time, and make sure that the time t is capital. Okay, that error is fixed as well. Now on line 67 it shows that cannot convert iflow to integer. Okay, 67 line. So on line 67 right here. Okay, let me check UI text and the current index. Okay, so we need to change this current index integer. from float to integer and set it to 0 by default. That will be it for all of the errors. Now let's click on enter. Let's add the character animator so we can drag and drop the Ken in there. Then player character. Then the subtitle text. Then in the text array we will provide all of our subtitle text, okay, but for now let's drag and drop the main camera, then the mission camera, and then the mission light. Okay, now for the subtitle text, right here we can add 6 elements in this array, and the first subtitle text will be this one, in which I have typed can, then this sign, and I type I think Lance and Diaz took our money. Lance snitch on us, I will kill that bastard. Okay, you can type whatever you want right here. Okay, it's your own choice. Okay, now in the second one I will type go and find BJ Smith, he stole all our cars behind our back. Then the next subtitle will be go and buy weapons from the gun shop. Actually, we can move this one down below and make this one up there on the second one, because we will first buy the weapons, then after that we will find BJ. Okay, so make sure that you do this change. Then I will type that press E key to skip this cutscene. Okay, that is what Ken will tell us, or actually it will not be Ken, we will just show this text. Okay, that press E to skip this cutscene, and after that we're gonna add Ken, so Ken will tell us go now, we can't wait for long. And if the player still didn't press the E key, then Ken will tell us that Tommy, let's go. What are you waiting for? Okay, that is it. That is it for our cutscene subtitles. Okay, make sure that the box collider is triggered, and also make sure that your player is on the player tag and also player layer. Now if you go ahead and play the game. Okay, so here we are now. Let's walk in this pink light, and you will notice that the moment I walk in it, it now shows the subtitle text right here. I think Lance and Diaz took our money, Lance snitch on us, I will kill that bastard. It will show this for few seconds, then it will show go and buy weapons from gun shop. Okay, then it will show the next subtitle text, go and find BJ Smith, he stole all our cars behind our back. And then we show press E key to skip the cutscene. So let's actually show all of the subtitle text to you guys. Okay, now it shows go on now, we can't wait for long. Okay, and in the middle if we press the interact key, as you can see it removes the cutscene, and we have our character right here. And then if we click the game manager right here, you will notice that mission 1 is set to true and the mission 1 area is removed from here. Okay, so in this way you can add your own mission 1, and now as you can see we can walk out right here and see our other things. Okay, and now when our mission 1 is completed, now we have mission 2 right here. So now what we want is when we buy weapons from the gun shop, we want to set this mission 2 to true. Okay, So we're gonna do this in this video since it is just a small step to make the mission to true, because we already have the script and everything ready in which we buy the weapons. So if we click on this camera in the shop system, let's open this up, and in the buy item method, okay, we have this buy item method. So in here, as you can see, we buy these items by using the button. So if we click on this buy item, as you know that we call this buy item method in the input manager. Okay, if we scroll down in the handle by input, as you can see, we call this by input method. Okay, so what we're gonna do is at the top we're gonna make a reference to the game manager script now. Okay, then in the awake method we're gonna say game manager equals to find object of type game manager. Then when we press the by input right here, we set the by input to false back again. Okay, so before making it set to false back again, we're gonna say game manager dot mission 2 equals to true. But first of all, we want to check that if the mission 1 is true, mission 2 is not 3, not 4, not 5. If all of the other missions are not true, but just mission 1 is true, then in this case we're gonna pass the mission 2. Okay, so once you do this, get back right here. Okay, click on game manager so that we can see the missions being passed. Okay, so if we play the game, as you can see, mission 1 is false. Okay, and now if we get in here, okay, here is our player. Mission 1 is still false, but when the cutscene ends, mission 1 is now set to true. Okay, now if we go ahead and visit the gun shop, let's buy weapon from here. So if you press E key again, okay, let's buy this first rifle, or you can buy whatever you want. So I'm gonna buy this one. If I click on B, as you can see, mission 2 is false, true as well now. Okay, now let's press E key again. So the first and second mission is passed, and we have the weapons as well. Now, after this, we will be adding our third mission, which will be in that position right there. And in the third mission, as you know that we will be killing BJ Smith. And after that, our next mission will be to kill Lance and Diaz. Okay, so when we kill BJ Smith, then we're gonna give the player cars. Okay, and after giving the player the cars, then we're gonna go ahead and kill the Lance and Diaz. Okay, right here we will be adding our third mission in which we will kill the BJ Smith character. So now with our mission 1 and 2 added, let's end this video right here.